using this bike. Live? We're live. We've been live for like 10 seconds, bro.
Dang.
That's how quick it is. So people saw me messing with my thing. Nice. All right. Well, do you like people to know your last name? I don't
It
I mean
doesn't
mine's
matter.
all over. I
Yeah.
mean, okay, but I just say I hey guys, with Mike from Ride Electric Reviews. Some of you guys might know him as Run Bike Mike.
Yep.
But it turns out that he has 122 different YouTube channels. And so we're going to be talking about each and every one and how those have come in. Oh, there's Matt from Electric All Wheel
Yep.
who literally tried to FaceTime me right when I was trying to go on live with you. And then he flipped me off because he was like, "Ooh." Um, you know what? It is nice. Isn't it kind of crazy? Like, because we met the electric event in Phoenix, and that's
Yep.
how I've met all the other YouTubers that I talked to, except for Mike Marmo. And, it's kind of funny that like there's like a small group of us that has like formed a bond,
Yeah.
where we reach out to each other for like, suggestions or run ideas across each other or talk smack about manufacturers or I don't think we do that, but sounds funny to say.
Yeah.
I hope some manufacturers are watching right now going, is it
Wait a
is it
minute.
about me? Is
Is
it
it
about
us?
us? Yeah. Are we the ones? But you were in your studio. So yeah, you have an actual studio, which I'm like you and Ben from the Bike Cave. You
Yeah.
guys have really nice studios. Mike Fetty has a nice one as well, but
Yep.
yours was the one that I noticed first, and because I was watching, I'd seen your reviews before I even met you.
Yeah.
So you know, long time follower, first time caller, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and oh, hang on, I gotta be able to see question.
Yeah. Speaking of Ben, there's Ben. He's on his top to bottom MTV channel.
Oh, we gotta take back. I gotta take back all the bad stuff I just said about Ben. I cannot have him. Well, cut the live. Cut the
Yeah.
live. We're going back. Um, no, Ben. Hey, I'd like to get you on the. I'd like to do a live with you too, Ben.
Yeah.
But right now it's all about Mike. Mike, dude, how long have you been doing this?
I would say my Run Bike Mike channel, I probably had that back in, like, realistically, actually truly trying to post, probably 6 years. And then I got serious around COVID because I had a oddly enough, that channel, my other channel, evolved through multiple things. And I made a squirrel picnic table out of like wood because it was like, we're bored, can't go anywhere. And that thing, like, what I call it, blew up. It had like 50,000 views, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's gone viral." And it kind of lit the spark of like, okay, maybe I need to start posting more. And so I started doing stuff with like tools around my house and lawn mowers, and then also mixing in biking stuff. And my channel just like was such a hot mess of so many different things. And I was just trying to find my way through the weeds of like what works, what doesn't work. And I just kept finding myself enjoying the biking stuff so much more.
Mhm.
And so I did that for quite a while before I got into this e-bike stuff. And um to kind of go into that, like, I got contacted by uh Highboy to
Mhm.
review the I think it's the P6, their fat tire. No, not the non-fat tire one. I think it may be the P6. It's like their mountain bike looking one. That's not really a mountain bike. It's just like a cruiser bike with mountain bike tires on it. And I was like, sure, yeah, I'll I'll yeah, a bike. Okay, cool.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, this is what kind of weird world am I living in? And they sent it, and I had a blast with it and made a couple videos. And next thing I know, they wanted to send me their next one. And then it just kept compounding from there. And then eventually it got to the point, I don't want to go too fast into the story here. If you want to stop me, just let me know. But it got to the point where my run bike mic stuff was starting to get more detailed with like mountain biking stuff and gravel bike stuff, and then I was trying to
Yep.
mix in all of this e-bike stuff. And I honestly took a note from Ben. Like I had a conversation with Ben because he split his channels from top to bottom, MTB to the bike cave. And it was kind of like almost a hard cut. And I watched his channel have success and the way that he split them up. So I had conversations with him, and I put it off for a solid year. And I was like, I've got to do this. Like it's too stressful putting them in one channel. And I wound up splitting it I started it last like December, but it actually split in March. That's when I created the Ride Electric Reviews channel. And it's been such a big like change. Like it's been really nice to separate out the audiences. Like there's people that like both, but the majority of times people who want regular like budget e-bike stuff, like what I do on Ride Electric Reviews, don't tend to translate over to e-bike stuff or to mountain bike and gravel bike stuff. They're almost two different cultures. And so I can kind of separate them out, and it helps with the YouTube algorithm quite a bit.
So then how many well, then how many channels do you actually have?
Technically, I have 4, but I do have an Emoto channel that I started around the
Mhm.
same time, and I just did that to see, like, if I could get into that genre because it's like Surons, E-Ride Pros, all those things are starting to become very, very popular, and I was gonna take it to a different level as far as, like, most of the stuff you see is street riding, and that's just not something I wanna do at 44. I don't wanna ride down the street on an e-moto and get arrested. So I was going to take them to the trails, like actual e-moto trails or motocross trails, and ride through the woods and record all that and all my experiences. And I did that a few times, and it was great. But I had a breakdown of the E-Ride Pro in the middle of the woods, about 7 miles away from my vehicle, with
Yeah, I remember that.
19 to 20% grade for like a quarter mile that I had to push this 170-pound bike up. And I was already spent. And I was just like, what am I doing? Like this, I'm 44 years old. Like if I was on a mountain bike or even an e-mountain bike, I could easily push this thing out of the woods. But this thing was like, I was cramping up all over the place. I was like, if I was a little bit older or a little bit less fit, I would be dead out here in the woods. I would have to spend the night. And so I was like, you know what? This just isn't for me. These are cool, but I just like pedals. I want a pedal bike. So I basically like built that channel up to like 1,400 subscribers. It was actually doing really well. And then I was just like, nope, I'm done with it. And I just put a video out there and just said a video and a post, I think. And I just said, look, guys, I'm kind of done with this channel. I tried it. It's not for me. Um,
I
my
saw
other
that video.
channel, what's that? You saw it?
I
Yeah.
saw that. I can't, I can't subscribe to your 11, 12, 13 channels or whatever, but I was
Yeah.
tracking on well, because I thought about the e-moto game as well, but dude,
Yeah.
when you live, like, in the city, because 'cause I've turned down e-motos, I mean, I've been offered them to review, and I'm
Yep.
like, "Where am I gonna ride this thing?" You
Yeah.
know? And, I mean, I'm on some high-powered bikes, but you can pedal all of them.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Yeah.
there's no pedaling an E-Ride Pro or anything like that. You can't even fake
No.
pedal it. Like, people are gonna look at you like, "Oh, what are you doing?" So,
Yeah.
yeah, I understand how, you did that and then decided that wasn't the way that you
And it
wanted to do.
it really actually surprises me. Being a dad, it surprises me that you see so many young people riding these things like really wildly because they're serious machines. Like I've been on a lot of like e-bikes, regular bikes, e-mountain bikes, and ridden a lot of trails. And I never rode motocross, so I didn't have that experience. And maybe coming from motocross to those, it wouldn't be quite as a shock. But to me, it was like really shocking, like how powerful those bikes are. They're super cool. I mean, they're really rad. And when I actually sold it, it was a dad and his son, and he was buying it for his son. And the son like had ridden motocross quite a bit. He got on it in my yard and just wheelied the thing, just like I was like, "Dude, you're like 13." And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "It's pretty cool." He goes, "I can't wait to ride this. It's gonna be fun to have electric instead." And he's just like, "Burr." I'm like, dude, I would have. I would have probably kept the thing if I knew how to do that.
Right. Yeah, you're like, "Oh my gosh, look at how much fun that thing is."
Yeah,
Yes.
and but he knew what he was doing, and he lived on land and all that stuff. So, but my other channel that I don't post a lot to is it used to be called Walnut Springs because I have a mountain bike trail that I built in my backyard, and that's the name that I gave the mountain bike trail because back during COVID, I did a lot of trail building stuff on my YouTube channel on Run Bike Mike. And so I wanted to have a channel that was like dedicated to tool reviews because I was buying a lot of tools like woodworking tools, just tools for around the house. And there's a whole industry in this. There is a reason why I open up all the channels that I do, and it's a very business minded mindset. It's not, I'm not one of the ones that like, I don't want to get YouTube famous. I don't care about that. I also don't want to just post just to post for memories. Like it is a straight up business for me. And that's how I look at it every single day. And so this tool channel, I was like, well, you can get like power drills and all that stuff, and then you can review them. Like there's a ton of views in that. And
Mhm.
so I created basically I took the video concepts off of Run Bike Mike that I did with tools and applied them immediately over there. And it worked really, really well. It's a lot of chainsaw tips on like how to start a flooded chainsaw, how to like start a chainsaw because there's one particular still chainsaw that's a pain to start, and I figured out how to start it real easy. And so every year that just spikes up in the fall and spikes up in the spring.
Yeah,
and
okay.
and so I call it a cash cow because it's like
Mhm.
it's continually repeated every year. It constantly goes up and constantly goes down. And but that channel is now called All Tool Reviews, and over there I just occasionally post. The last thing I posted about was my bike, my barn that I built. I did a time lapse about it, and that did really well. But then the other two channels are just my Run Bike Mike and the Ride Electric reviews, and those are the ones that I focus on every day. Like those are my primary focuses.
Right, 'cause you do this part-time. You
Yeah,
have a full-time job.
well, I do it as a side hustle. I would say it's like more than full time. I eat, sleep, and drink this stuff. When I'm off work, this is what's on my mind. If I'm at a volleyball game, I'm thinking about something while I'm watching the volleyball game with, it's like it's a constant thing. And I, honestly, I've found that I can really balance family life and just friends life and my job really well with it because everything is portable. Like I can go out on my lunch break if I'm working from home and shoot a ride video and then come back, and then that evening download all that footage to my computer, take that computer to like a kid's practice and do editing while they're at practice, or while we're in the middle of a break of a volleyball game, or you know, I kind of learned how to manage that stuff really well whenever I was just editing on my phone. I used to just do everything on my phone for a couple of years. And then I kind of advanced out to an iPad and then to a MacBook and different cameras and all that stuff. So it's just, even though it does consume a lot of my life, it's very manageable, and it's always second to like the other things in life, like going to do stuff, going on vacations, or doing stuff with the family. Like I can put it aside and not stress about it.
Well, um so I will film on vacations, right? We'll blend in
Yeah.
because my wife and I, we travel a lot, right? We've been
Yeah.
to, like, this year it was, like, Europe and then Switzerland, and so to, like, then I went mountain biking in the Swiss Alps,
Yeah.
right?
That
And
was
then
cool.
we did a 6-hour e-bike ride through some town I can't pronounce, like Lottenbogen or something like that, with
Yeah.
the cool waterfalls and stuff. So, which serves 2 rules. 1, business-wise, I write that trip off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
and then
that's a big thing.
number 2, I like to show my ex-wives how much I'm, like, really thriving. But, oh, I just
You
got yelled at by the 3rd wife.
you I was gonna say you used plural there, so
"You're not supposed to be listening." Oh my gosh. She's in the next room.
that's so
Um,
funny.
Well, let's reach out to the chat here real quick. But I also do it for the memories because at some point I'm just gonna hit a wall and just fall apart. Um, let's see, popping out here into the chat, right? Ben, glad to have you here. Road trip buddy, what's up? Uh, Matt and Mike. Okay. Well, Matt is not on here, but well, he's in the chat.
He's in the
So
chat.
he's in the chat. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If it was up to Matt, he would be on here as well, guaranteed. Um, let's see. DG, and here's how it works with the live. Like people who watch this further on, they won't be able to see the chat,
Mm,
right? Or so whenever somebody asks a question, I'll say who they are. So DG said any e-bikes coming in 2026 that you are excited about. I mean, I know that I'm looking forward to the Magician Mini, the Alpha Mini.
yeah. Yeah, I would like to ride some of those, like the higher powered ones. I know you guys talk about them a lot, but I haven't ridden anything over, well, besides my E-Ride Pro, I haven't ridden anything over 60 volt. Like 60 volt, and that was the Anioki, um, which is a very interesting bike. Uh, there's the what, the A8 Pro or whatever. It's
Pro
the dual
Max.
motor Pro Max.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I think about that bike quite a bit because I'm like, if it just wasn't so damn ugly, that it would. Sorry, I gotta say it. It is a weird bike, and everybody I talked to said it was a weird bike. Um,
One
it
right
would be
now. I
pretty
haven't
cool.
reviewed it yet.
The huh?
I have one right now that I
Yeah,
made him send me a green one, but the 80 amp hour one because I'm like,
they're
will it
just
make it to the cabin? Hmm.
if it runs like mine did, it will. I know that some people have trouble with them, but mine ran really smooth. And the one thing that I will say about those is the motors were awesome. They were the whatever the
The
ones that
direct
runs
drives.
off, yeah, direct drives. They run off like
Mhm.
magnets or something instead of gears. They're so quiet. You would go 30 plus 35, 38 miles an hour and there's no sound. Really, really cool. But those bikes were so stinking heavy. And that's the one thing that pushes me away from like dual motor bikes, which I've got several that I'm reviewing, and I love the power from them, but they're heavy, and I just really like whenever you have like a heavy like a dual motor bike, you can shut the front motor off because you don't need it all the
Yeah.
time. But I've reviewed a few that you can't do that, and I'm just like, it almost makes them almost unrideable at times. Like they're fun when they're fun, but if you're tired and you're not paying attention, they can kind of feel like you're fighting them a little
Yeah,
bit.
especially like at a lower speed trying to make a turn and you still have
Yeah.
the front wheel drive going, then it feels sketch.
But
So
back to that,
nothing.
we got
Yeah.
way out on squirrel chaser there. Sorry. Bikes that I'm interested in reviewing.
Well, for 2026, like
Yeah,
what are you excited about?
2026. I honestly I'm excited to see what some of the big brands, what I call big brands in this group are going to come out with. I'm excited to see what Aventon comes out with. I'm excited to see what Velotrex comes out with. Like
Hmm.
just because they're setting the standard for like the quality of everything else. And
Agreed.
their prices aren't astronomical. They are in the higher end in this category, but the quality that they're putting out forces bikes that are sub $1,000 to put out better quality, and you just see it over and over. Where like before, like a $700 bike 2 years ago was not super good, but now you can find $700 bikes that are actually really good bikes, like pretty
Mhm.
good quality that will last an average person quite a while with no problems. They don't have all the bells and whistles of like Velotrix Discover 2, but so I'm excited to see what they come out with, especially with like the A100 motor. Huge fan of the A100 motor. I think it's
Yep.
one of the most fun mid-drive motors that's out there. I would love to see them put that motor in every model that they have across the board.
So I spent an hour, I had an hour and a half video chat with Aventon, and there is some really nice things coming out next year.
Oh man. Yeah.
And I would tell you, but I have a top secret clearance. So there's things that
Yeah.
I know that I haven't even told myself. So So I'm excited to find out what those are going to be in the future
We'll
here as
have to
well.
get into what do they call it? A skiff? We'll have to get into a skiff.
Yeah, yeah, or something like that. All right, so hang on a second. Let's take a look here. So we answered that one by DG, and then Road
Hey,
Trip Buddy says,
hold on, there's Ghost Cat. Ghost Cat's in the thing. I want to review a Ghost Cat bike. Have you reviewed one?
"Dude, I have one,"
You
and
have
then
one?
oh my gosh, I do, and not only that, but then they made me a custom seat to represent my military.
You serious?
No,
That's
it was
awesome.
insane. It's a Tapia seat. It's got a Ranger tab on it, U.S. flags, and
Really?
they matched it to the bike, dude. It's like one of those things where I mean, it's just awesome. Now here's the thing, but I have the one with the street tires on it, like the first batch that came
Yeah.
through. But now they have like the Maxim or Maxis road
Mm.
tires, and I'm like, send me the link. I'll buy the tires. Like you don't even have to send it to me. I just need to know what tires are on there because I wanna do like a serious off road test with it, and then I
Yeah.
want to ride it in the snow because we're gonna get
Oh.
snow,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I mean that bike is a blast. And good luck
Yeah.
if you thought your E-Ride Pro that you had was easy to get the front wheel off the ground, you're gonna have a hard time keeping this one on the ground.
Really?
It's like the lightest, either just by the way the configuration is of it. It feels like it weighs nothing,
Yeah.
right? And it's got such a high clearance on it
Uh-huh.
that dude, you could like if there's a tree down in front of you, there's a pretty good chance you could probably make it over it. So
No
it's like even
kidding.
higher. It's like a mountain bike.
Nice.
It's
Nice.
I
Yeah.
mean
That
it's
they stand out, and that's the one thing that I've noticed about them. I mean, like I said, I haven't reviewed a lot of high-powered ones, but they just when I've been around enough bikes that you can look at a bike and you can kinda tell whether or not it's gonna be somewhat quality, and their stuff,
Mhm.
just from the images that I've seen, it looks beefier, it looks like they use nicer components. Um, yeah, so
for a bike like that, the suspension is insane.
yeah,
That
that's super
yeah.
important, and that's one thing on a lot of e-bikes that we review, across both of our channels, like, that's one area that gets kinda overlooked a lot, and if you have a good suspension, it really does make a difference.
Oh yeah. I mean that's just it's such a fun bike. Here's the thing though, I'm kind of right like okay, I don't know how it is with you, but I ride bikes 99% of the time when I get around Chicago. So when I have certain bikes that I like or that I still want to do videos on, I won't ride them to run errands just in
Yeah.
case it gets stolen.
Yep. Yeah, yeah.
Now
I
I
don't have
haven't
to
had
worry
anything.
about that where I'm
Yeah,
at, but
I know. So every time I go into my storage thing, I look over at
yeah.
my ghost cat and I'm like, soon, buddy. Because
Yeah.
because once I do the videos that I want to do with it, then it's a free for all for me to
Yep.
ride it around as much as I want, because then
Yeah.
I won't feel um uh you know obligated
Right.
to, even though I'm not nobody's contracted me to do those videos. It's just we get ones that we want to do.
Yeah, yeah.
Like like when you had that well, like when you took the Adventure M off road, but then you like switched out the fork
Oh, yeah.
and the derailleur and like got
Yep.
rid of something. What'd you do? You did something.
I
You got rid of
I
something.
did so much to that bike, and it was that bike is freaking rad. It's so much fun to ride on my local trails. Like it's one of the best fat tire bikes out there. It's the most
Yeah.
capable, most upgradable too, because of the geometry that they chose to
Well,
pick on it.
so real quick, because we are talking about eventing on when I made the post and said I was going to be on live with you, um, Wavy Zach, okay, um, he says, "May I please have your updated and long-term outlook on the event Rambless and the Adventure M?"
Yeah.
Right, and
The
those are two bikes that I don't sell,
No,
right?
no. I the Rambless is so much fun. I'm a huge, like, e-mountain biker. Like, I have a couple of different pretty high-end ones, and a lot of times I choose the Rambless because I'm I'm also like, if you look at my Run Bike Mike channel, you'll see that I'm doing a lot of stuff on hardtail mountain bikes right now, and the
Mhm.
main reason is because they add a layer of, like, technical riding to trail riding that you don't have to worry about with a full suspension. Full suspensions will just like crush over so much stuff and make it just glossy smooth. Where with a hardtail, you have to like navigate your way through the trail and pick your lines appropriately. And when you can do that
Hmm.
at 23 miles an hour, on a trail that you would normally ride 7, it's insanely fun. Like, it's just
Yeah,
you are riding on the edge of what that bike can do a lot of the times, and it just wants to keep going, and that A100 motor will just fly up the hills. Um, I mean, the biggest thing that I would say anybody can do to that bike to make it better is, 1, add most definitely add a tire insert into the back tire running tubeless, because you will damage the rim really, really fast, especially if you ride aggressive and you ride like technical rocky stuff. So get like Cush Core or Tannis Armor or Vittoria tire inserts. I recommend Vittoria if you're a lighter rider, because those are easier to deal with. If you've ever had to install Cush Core or Tannis Armor, it's very challenging, but they're very strong. So the other
yeah.
thing that I would recommend doing is upgrade the front suspension to a quality air fork. The spring fork that comes on that one was good. I think they actually switched over to the silo, the RockShox silo, which is it's a good fork. But if you can swing like a Fox 36, um, yeah, that will make that bike come to life.
I put Fox 34s on both of mine. So if people don't know, I like the Rambler so much that I bought a second one so I could ride with my friends. And then I put like $3,000 in upgrades in each one of those bikes,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
so funny because this one right behind me here that hangs on my wall, right? That's a full suspension giant Trans X E plus 3. It's a super nice full suspension bike. But every time I
yeah,
go out, dude, I'll grab a Rambless instead of these. It's insane. Like I don't, it's
yeah.
just you just feel the power just makes it more fun. The hardtail, I think riding a hardtail actually makes you a better rider before
Agreed.
moving to before moving to a soft tail.
Yep.
Um, so let me see. The rest of his question was if between the Rambless and the Venture M, he's looking for a hybrid commuter trail gravel bike. And he's down to both of these. So, well, here's what I would say. The only advantage that there's more. Well, the Adventure M has all the security features, and
Hmm.
it has a throttle, right? So the
Yeah.
Ramble is going to be lighter. It's going to be fun and probably more capable. I guess you could put smaller tires on the Adventure M if you wanted, but if you are doing more of your time like commuting and want a throttle, then that's going to be the way to go. Because I haven't done all the testing that I've done with the Rambless, but I have a feeling it's going to be every bit as capable.
Yeah, what I would recommend doing is on the Rambless, if you're gonna use it for commuting, put a 30, you could probably fit a 38 tooth chain ring on there. You may be able to fit even bigger, because I think the Adventure M comes with a 42 tooth chain ring. So hitting those top speeds when you switch it over to a class 3 is easier on the M because of that bigger chain ring. But the Rambless, I can't remember which one it comes with, but I put a 34 on mine, and it's like it maxes out at right around 23 before I start ghost pedaling, because it's like it was a class
Yeah,
one
100% class
e-bike. It was a
one.
class
Yeah,
one, and now it's capable of being a class 3, and I wanna go up to closer to a 38 to maybe 42, just so I can hit those higher speeds, because you can always shift in the back to be able to make it easier or harder. But
right.
if your chain ring up front isn't big enough, you can't hit those max speeds. So if you're going to be using it for commuting and you want to go 28, instantly think about upgrading to a bigger chain ring than what it comes with.
All right, dude, we have a ton of people. The chat area is on fire. You guys are easy. Hey, how's it going? Um, road trip buddy, e-bikes are the future of transportation. Its popularity is growing by the day. I agree with that. Which is funny because we've reviewed so many different bikes. And my wife asked me, she's like, dude, she's like, where are all these bikes coming from? I'm like, well, you don't get it. Like, we haven't reviewed them all. Like
Yeah.
they just keep coming
There's
and
so many
coming.
brands out there. I had I had a brand contact me today and I was like, I've never heard of this, but they make like 7, 8 different bikes and they look legit. I'm like, how have I not heard of this brand?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like overnight new brands are developed. It's
Yeah, like
wild.
when Pucky Puppy came out,
Yeah.
never heard of them, and all of a sudden they had like yeah, there you go. And which one's that one?
This one's
Is it
the
the
Labrador R or Pro. Labrador
okay.
Pro.
I
Yeah.
think the,
I've
the
got the golden R right over there, the dual motor.
yeah, I reviewed that one. They're sending me they I just saw the shipping for it, the Golden R Pro.
That's what I've got.
So
Yeah.
oh,
The golden R
yeah.
Pro.
What color's
It's
your
be
I got the
it's the two
camo.
tone. You got the camo?
Did you get the red and black?
No, it's like a
Beautiful.
blue gray, but it's
Almost
dude, I was
yes.
kind of hesitant to review them, and I was like, why not? And just seeing them in person, I'm like, whoa, these are way higher quality than what I ever expected.
Yeah, I think every reviewer probably thought the same thing until they've got their first one and they're like, "Huh, this is
Yeah,
they're a contender."
yeah,
Right? I mean, they've
dude,
got
the
a weird
paint, it
name
looks
for sure.
so good. The paint looks
Yeah.
amazing on that Golden R Pro. Like it's
Mhm.
every bit as good as like a big brand like Trek or Specialized, the paint job on that. So
Mhm. Stick guy, can we get a thumbs up? Here we go. Boom, thumbs up. There we go. Um, Scott Janway. Oh, wait a minute. Hang on. Where was the one with somebody else? We were both at a gay club about an hour ago. Missed that one. Mm. I did. No. Oh, yeah. East Boston. Were you two at a gay club just 2 hours ago? No, but we were at your mom's house. So there's that. Um, Tell her I said hi.
did he
Uh,
think he saw? Did he see us there or something? I don't know.
dude, how could he? Right? I was wearing all leather. No way you could tell that I was
Yeah,
there.
I'm gonna turn red.
Let's see.
Turn red.
Quentin Anthony Anderson. Oh, let me see. As someone involved with local policy making in my local community, okay, I'm curious how you both feel about proposals to make slow speed vehicle infrastructure, i.e., like a highway for 200 or less motor vehicles.
Hmm.
Okay, so I'm gonna jump into this one real quick, but because Chicago has an excellent bike infrastructure, right? I mean, there's and they keep improving it all of the time. So I think that's a great idea, and I believe that because we have such a good bike infrastructure, that more people use it.
Yeah.
And so it just keeps becoming safer because they're putting like concrete barricades in between now, and
Nice.
making sure all the bike lanes are like bright green. So people that are still on their phones seeing it, they might be able to see a little green before they come into our lane.
Yep.
Um, so I think that's a great idea. I hope you're. I mean, but I'm talking about it from like a big city.
Yeah.
You live more in the country,
Yeah, I live in the country, but I'm a big proponent of greenway trails. Like for instance, we have a push right now and it unfortunately where I live, it goes very, very slow, but they want to connect all the like you would probably call them suburbs, but they're actually cities that are around our major city, which is Springfield, Missouri. And they
hmm
want to connect all those up with greenway trail systems. So people who live in the outer city can ride in safely through this greenway trail system and not have to ever deal with cars. And if you've ever been to Bentonville, have you ever been to Bentonville, Arkansas?
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I
Uh,
don't think I've ridden there. It was probably like a military school or something, or
okay, well, Bentonville is what is a self-proclaimed mountain bike capital of the world,
right.
and
Never mountain bike there.
yeah, it's the infrastructure for bikes there is literally the roadmap of what other cities are starting to follow because they're putting so much money into it and they're connecting everything. You can get to everything in Bentonville via bike lane, bike trail, and that's the type of stuff that I would love to see. Anything that can promote people to use it, uh, th- if it's done right, they will use it. So, for example, like the Greenway Trail system, I couldn't tell you how many people complained about it. Like, why are they spending money to build a sidewalk in the middle of nowhere? And now that it's there, I just hear people say, "I love that." Me and
Yeah.
my friends, we go ride our bikes there. I run down that. My son rides his bike down there. No one complains about it because it's there. They'll only complain about it before they get it. But once they get it, they see the benefit, and then it's all go forward from there. And I'm a huge proponent. That's where tax money is going to go. That's where I want it to. I'm okay with that.
All right. So hopefully that answers that question, which I think was a great question. Easy E. So when you were talking about having to push your or whatever your E-Ride Pro, right?
You're
That's what
right,
it was.
pro. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. He had to push his wired freedom through 2 foot of snow last January, two
Oh,
miles because the clutch failed while he was at a doctor's appointment.
oh
Oh, and
no.
he's 63 with a lot of mobility issues. It almost
Oh,
killed him.
that's not
Dude,
good.
that is sad to hear, man.
Oh,
Easy E pops in all the chats.
yeah,
Ed Chavez, which I think I say it now right. He said, "Hey guys," and Gary E-Bike Adventures, man. He uh he pops in all the time too. He's a good guy. Oh, he said he loves the bike on the wall. I must be in my
yeah,
man cave. Man, yeah, I'm in my. I thought it was going to be a YouTube studio because somebody asked a question here, and we're going to find it. Like, where do we come up with the names? Like, why did you come up with the name? At first, well, I named my channel Scott Hardesty because I thought it was going to be about travel and comedy and just random reviews on stuff, right? And then when it became like all e-bike stuff, I did think about, changing it to like, Chicago e-bike reviews or something like that. But then I'm like, well, hang on, right? What if I just want to, I travel,
yeah,
right? So
yeah,
what if I want to, every year I do a backpacking trip with my ranger buddies and I post that
yeah,
video. So, you know, so when I first came out with the name and it started to become popular, I was still on the fence on what I was actually going to um, do
yeah,
or, what my channel is going to be. And I'm sure that's why you have multiple channels because
yeah.
well, you told me why you named your channel Run Bike Mike, so you can share that with people.
Yeah, well, for one, I was really into running, and I still run, but I don't run near as much. And I was going to actually do like vlogs. That's what was going to be my thing, and like vlogging my biking and my running and all that stuff. And so that's really where it came from. Is I just had a passion for running and biking, and I thought, I got to come up with a way to like represent what my channel is going to be. And then the running thing just never took off. Like I just couldn't ever get any video to bite, no matter how what I did. I don't have that explosive personality that you kind of have to be a vlogger. So I'm better at reviews, I think, where it can be more kind of dry. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just a passion. And then I was like, run, bike, Mike works. So
I mean, it was catchy. I mean,
yeah,
even when we talk about you, we're like, "Oh, yeah, Run Bike Mike." Like, we don't even say your real name,
yeah, it's
right? We're
easy to
just,
say.
yeah, it's Run Bike
Yeah.
Mike,
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ride
which is
Electric
funny.
Reviews is a little harder to say, but I came up with
Yeah,
that.
right.
I did a lot of Google searching and tried to look at the channels that had really good like view numbers, and a lot of them had the word review in their name, not just in bikes. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
of course I was using not a smart version of chat gpt back then, back in the beginning of the year, but it also helped me kind of like narrow down what I was going to name it, and just tried to make it something that was relevant. I didn't want to there's a couple of channels out there that are very vague, but they kind of have names that are associated around electric vehicles. And I was like, this way I can review scooters, I could review one wheels, I could review golf carts, I could review anything I
Mhm.
want, because it's like anything that's electric and you ride on it, I could review it.
Yeah, well, and I guess with it just being my name, well,
Yeah.
I can do whatever,
Yeah. There's
so
part of me that's like, damn, I wish I had it just my name, because it's like you can do whatever you want with the channel. Like there's
yeah.
nothing tying you to one
I mean, like,
thing.
if when I thought this was gonna be the thing that I did, and I thought I was gonna do comedy, what a Ghost Cat, they said, "Tell us a joke." I'm not gonna tell you a joke because, that's not how my comedy works, but I did,
That was a good
if
one.
if 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 somebody goes back on my channel, they will see a 3-part series of what if you were going to work out but everybody had tiny hands, like what would that look like, right? And then also there was this whole, what if Bane from Batman didn't get killed? I mean, you saw him get shot and he goes flying across the room, but what if he didn't die? He's over 50 years old now and he's trying to live a normal life in Gotham. What would that look like? So then I had like a professional video crew. We came in, we shot like 4 full-length videos. Like in the second episode, we turned him into an Uber driver. He picks up Batman. It becomes awkward, right? And that's what I was like, oh, I can do anything on this channel. But then it just then it just became more, e-bike stuff and e-bike stuff, and then
Right.
that's what it was. Um, oh, shoot the chit. Oh, here we go. He's been playing a drinking game and taking a shot every time you guys say Rambless. I don't feel so good.
I have no
He's
problem
been.
with that. I love the Rambless.
I do too, man. I do too.
Rambless. Rambless.
Yeah, yeah. He won't remember the end of this conversation, but if we keep saying Rambless, oh, that was one more
Uh-oh.
time.
Oh no.
Um, let me see. Retro. Some of these names are hard to say. Retrog Retrog 30. That's what we're gonna go with. He's 225 or he's 220 pounds. Would a Frago X2 Pro be suitable for my size? He's also 6 foot. I haven't reviewed a single. Have you?
I haven't. I don't even know if I
Dang,
know of
dude.
that brand. Have you seen
Um,
that brand?
n-
Frago?
yeah. I mean, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen it.
That goes back to like
Um,
what we were saying. There's so many brands out there.
there's so
It's
many
like
brands. Yeah. So sorry. I wish I could answer that, but I can't. Ghost Cat. These guys, they're troublemakers. I can tell. What are you guys most excited about for new e-bike advancement technology for 2026?
hmm.
Like I think we're going to see a bunch of bikes that are more powerful, which unfortunately is going to cause regulatory issues and stuff like that. But it seems like I feel like 2025 was a great year for e-bikes because of all the technology that came with it. And I just
Hmm.
think that it's going to continue to go. Like I think we're going to see, when somebody comes out with something that is solid, like a good idea, and then the other that everybody else has to like come up to that, and
Yep.
then so everybody's playing this game, and
Yeah.
as consumers, we're the ones who win.
Yeah. I think
You know.
I think one technology that we're going to see a lot of in the new Pucky Puppies are doing it, but I think it's going to get even better than what they do. Is 2025 we saw a lot of sensor switching. So we saw torque
Mhm.
sensors, and then you'd be able to switch over to a cadence sensor.
Yep.
Now they're doing a hybrid blend of the two. So it starts out as a torque sensor and then converts over to a cadence sensor as you get up to those higher speeds, because you've experienced this, I've experienced this. You have a torque sensor, it feels really good. And then you get up to 23 miles an hour and you have a 7 speed transmission, which is not good enough for anything over about 23 miles an hour. And you just can't go any faster because the torque sensor is just limiting you from being able to do that. You need a
Yeah.
cadence sensor and then you're ghost pedaling. So
Mhm.
I think that the drivetrains with the smart sensor switching when on demand of whatever it needs to do to make the bike actually move quicker, whether you're going faster or spinning faster or climbing hills. And then also the drivetrains are, of course, going to get better. I am personally hoping that we get past all the 7 speeds on the majority of the bikes. I think they should just be 8 speeds and they need to have cassettes built in and not freewheels. And then also, I think like if you're getting into the fat tire bikes, the commuter bikes, I think that most of them that are over $1,500 should be going with Shimano Qs. The Q system is a solid system that anybody could take into any bike shop, find any replacement part for it, and it's going to be around for multiple decades. You could get a Q system. And what's really cool is you can go from like a 9 speed to an 11 speed with a Q system with the exact same rear derailleur. You just need to upgrade the shifter and the cassette, and it'll work with both those. So I think the drivetrains and um, the sensor switching is what I'm probably most interested in.
I think we're probably going to see a lot more mid drives as well.
I hope.
Uh, Well, which is funny because you were talking about how the hybrid, right? Well, I have a Mach Wheel Onyx,
Mhm.
and but the headlight was out on it, so I was waiting for them to review it for them to give me a light that actually works, and it just came in. So, but and I've been riding it around a lot because I'm like, okay, this thing is pretty awesome. I mean, the throttle is super strong, which is not something that you commonly see on a
Mhm.
mid drive. I mean,
Right.
the thing has like 210 newton meters of torque or something crazy,
Wow.
right?
What
But
motor does it have?
one that you will see in the review because I do not remember.
I'm
It
assuming
has
it's a Bafang. I'm assuming
it.
it's a Bafang.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, probably.
Probably like an
But
M800 or something.
um, sure, yeah, we can go with that. 800, 801, whatever it takes, and it has the hybrid thing. So they're like it's
Yeah.
a torque cadence and so they're like once you hit a certain speed, then it switches over to
Yeah.
cadence. So I give it a shot, and I'm like, this is nice. So
It is
yeah,
nice.
so Pucky Puppy's not the only one doing it. Mock Wheel's doing it as well.
Yeah.
Maximum Charge is on here. He said, "What's up, boys?"
Yeah. What's up?
Um, I think Gary has a Labrador Pro in his garage still in the box, right?
Heck
Like
yeah.
everybody's, I mean, Pucky Puppy's sending them out to everybody, you know.
Dude, they're nice
Um,
bikes. I'm impressed. I
yeah,
I didn't think I would be, but I'm impressed.
Easy E told me that I got to stop visiting people's moms. Oh yeah, that's right. Because that's just a common thing that I say. Because when those one guys mistaken Tim and I for ice, and they were yelling at us, they were calling us, they were saying all these cuss words and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I'm like, "G- I'll see your mom tonight. You know, not
Those videos that you
realizing,
guys the videos that you guys made where you went and toured and you, like, were at the police station and it was, what was that? The Breakfast Club, like, school
yeah.
or something? I was like, "This is hilarious and it's, like, educational at the same time." Like, it was it was actually a lot of fun to watch that video because I was like,
Uh,
"Man, I'm, like, learning stuff and these guys are goofballs," and
I think e-biker's day off was probably my influencer's day off, I think is what he called it. Because then, we did a little skit where I'm standing over him while he's sleeping. I steal like one of his shirts, all done on like some kind of security camera footage that we made it look like it was there. I'm reading him a bedtime story, which is a ghost cat owner's manual, right? Max or Alex is like from Maximum Charge. Can we see the cockpit operations? No, you cannot. Um, Stack Watcher, hey, what do you think about the Hey Bike Mars 3.0? Did you review that as well?
Yep, yep. It's a
Okay, what
nice
are your
bike.
thoughts?
It's a nice bike. I think there's a few little things that Hey Bike could do over the next year to make these things even nicer. But out
Mhm.
of all the Mars bikes that I've reviewed, it's definitely you can see the improvements in them. Um, it's nice that it folds. I mean, yeah, it's a
I mean,
bigger folding bike, don't you think? Like,
yeah, I do. That's what I was gonna say. It's like it felt like you're riding like a bigger than your normal size small, and because of that, it just made the bike feel like it wasn't a folding bike, but you did
right?
have that ability to fold it. And then also, but I really like their little headlamps and taillights, which is funny
Yeah,
because
I do too.
my Ranger 3.0 uh review comes out. Well, I was gonna do it tomorrow morning, but we got this, so I'll put it out Sunday morning. Um, but why? I mean, if you have that cool thing on the front and on the back, why do they not make it to where you can tell if your turn signal's on or off?
Oh
Right? Like there's
yeah,
no
yeah,
indicator. Like when companies do that, I
yeah.
I I want to use them because I do use them here in Chicago. And but then I'm pretty sure during that review, I think I rode a mile or so with like I was going left,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Y-
Yeah.
You
Turn
know,
indicators are something that needs to be the evolution for 2026. Like you put
yeah,
turn
that would be
like make it beep. Like every time I get a bike that has a turn signal that's like a vintage where they just shut off after 30 seconds or it beeps at me like the Velotrek stuff,
mhm.
I'm like, this is great. I know when
Yeah.
my turn signal's on.
Yeah, because I count them out, right? Like,
Eh,
the electric, they shut off at, like, 19 clicks, and then
mhm.
Event at, like, 15,
Yeah.
um, and then Ghost Cat no, I'm sorry, Goat Power Bikes,
Mm.
never. But you do see the indicator, but they do stick out, and then you
Oh
see the
yeah.
indicator, like, you can see it flashing because it's
Mhm.
not completely hidden from the rider, and it's
Right.
also on the display. So I'm thinking if
Yeah.
anybody's adding turn signals on a bike, for the love of God, put it to where we know that it's turned on or off.
Yeah.
Nothing's more dangerous than riding around with a turn signal on that you don't um, know.
Yeah. I'd say
Uh,
one other thing about the Mars is that it is cool. It's full suspension. Like there
True, and
not
that's an
many
air
folding
shock.
bikes that have that. So like if you're looking for more comfort, it is bigger, so don't expect it to be smaller like most folding bikes, but it's got full suspension. So
Let's see. Uh, Mike Rochester, hey buddy, what's up? Um, says the live looks great. Oh, well, Gary also said it also sounded good as well. Thanks, Gary. Um, Tim for shoot the shit. He said Scott is a great physical comedian.
I saw him say that.
I think it's probably because if I didn't post it on YouTube, but there was a thing where, mm, oh yeah, one of the things that like I've been doing video before I started doing this, and we bought a cabin back in 2020, and I spent 9 months during COVID remodeling it. And I ran
Mhm.
a whole video series called Cabin Chronicles, where people watched me just flat out get my ass kicked remodeling this cabin. And there was an episode where I was filming it, and I the ladder came out from under me, and I dropped down from 2 stories up. And so I'm
I
just
thought
hanging
that
out
was
yesterday.
today. I saw that
Oh,
short and I was like, "Oh, well, I guess we're not doing the live tonight." And I immediately
yeah.
texted you and I was like,
Look,
"What
that
is?"
that was like 2 years ago. Oh, that's why you were like, was this really you? And I'm like, yeah, dude, it was me. But it was like 2 years ago. But then Tim from Shoot the Chit sends me like he put that video together and sent it to me.
That was so
And
funny.
oh my God. Like even once I pulled it up, once I was able to breathe again, right? After I got
Mhm.
my senses, I sent that to and I put it on that episode. And it was like we laugh about it all the time. And now somehow Tim made it even better
It
by
was
having
so
that
funny.
intro. Oh my
So
gosh.
so I was like, "What is this on my feed?" And then I was like, "Oh my god, I really think that was Scott."
Yeah, you are. You're right. It was. Yeah, that's what he said. He says I do great ladder work. All right. So maximum charge. Mike, this is for you.
Mm,
Great looking studio. See, we were talking about that earlier.
thank you.
Um, he's got to get on your level. I would like. We feel like we all need to get on like his level and Ben's level. Um,
Lowe's, pallets. That's all it
yeah.
is.
Well, yeah, but you also had the room for it. Like, I'm not bringing bikes down here in the basement.
Yeah.
He said, "Can you tell us why you chose that background?" Oh, probably cost. I think you just told us, right? You're like,
Yeah, well,
easy.
actually, there was some channel. Oh, there's a guy named DC Rainmaker. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but he does really technical reviews, like super deep dives into like sports watches, running, bike computers, drones, like all kinds of exercise tech. And his background was made of pallets, and but he painted them gray. And then, of course, I've seen pallet walls before, but I was like, man, I could just probably pick those things up for like nothing. And so I just went up to Lowe's and I was like, hey, how many pallets can I have? And they're like, oh, you want a whole bunch of pallets? You got a trailer? And they just gave me a whole bunch of pallets. So I started it and then I had it over here. Oh, you can't see that area, but I had a workbench over there. And then this kind of started happening more. And I was like, I need more
Mhm.
area to film. So I went back up to Lowe's and got more pallets. This is like years, like 2 or 3 years later. And then I built this whole entire like wall area. And then I was just like, I need to do something that like makes it look a little bit more official because I felt like I was just in my garage. Like, and garages are pretty bland looking for the
Yeah.
most part. And so painted the wall gray, ordered this little metal thing with the mountain bike on it, and laser engraved. You can't see it because I've got my Ride Electric reviews sign up there, but behind that is a laser engraved like Run Bike Mike piece of wood. So my daughter just made me that one, the Ride Electric reviews one. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
was wondering how long you were gonna have because you had the other one with the little YouTube logo, like
Mhm.
all color in the
Yep.
back.
Yep.
Right now,
And I've got it heated, so in the winter it's not that big of a deal. I put in a like a electric garage heater and it's fine, but in the summer it's like, dude, I go through like two half a month, maybe 2 months at the most, where I have like times where I have to just like go in the house for 5 minutes and cool down and come back out. But yeah.
Alex said that if you ever need any help, that I'm really good on ladders. So that right. And then Easy E doesn't shoot the chit have tiny hands. They are incredibly tiny, guys. When I do a tiny hand comic thing, right? I'm having to like grab an apparatus, but his are naturally like super, like a fourth of the size of what like a normal man's hand is. It's insane.
One of my favorite things to see him do is that little dance that he does in some of his videos. I don't even know what it's called, but he like I don't even know.
Yeah,
It's
right.
That's great.
Um, Professor Oak, Melon Gang, he figured it out, which is funny because when Mike and I first hopped on this before we went live, he's like, "Bro, you're wearing a melon hat." I'm like, "So are you?" And we were talking about it.
Yeah.
Like, neither one of us are sponsored by Melon,
Yeah.
but that's the only hats that I wear that I trust.
Yeah. They're great.
Um,
Expensive, but they're great.
um, Ruby Locks 420 says he can put power down on his Nomad One Plus, but he can't get past 31 miles an hour. It's too heavy. It's where
That's
having a
impressive
larger
though.
chainring, that's a larger
Yeah.
chainring,
I
can come
mean,
in handy.
the Nomad Plus. I just reviewed the Nomad 2 and then the Nomad 2X.
2X.
Those
The
Velotrix bikes are so cool. Like you can they're like they're one of the only ones that let you dial in the pedal assist and the throttle separately. And then
mhm.
they let you go up to 28 miles an hour, but secretly they go 31, 32.
Well, not now. Now you ruined it for
Nah,
everyone, and
that
now they're gonna do an over the air update like Aventon did, and shut everybody's stuff. Right. So Ghost Cat. So what they believe is the biggest advancement is going to be in battery technology, the semi-solid state, a
mm,
major breakthrough with safer, better performing, lighter batteries, and
yeah.
fast charging.
I'm
I don't know
interested
enough
in
about batteries
the
for that, but
I'm less interested in the fast charging, but I'm more interested in the lighter weight batteries.
yeah,
Mainly
agreed.
not for these style of bikes. I kind of say that, but if you could get a 40 amp battery that weighed like a 20 amp battery, that would be amazing. But I'm mainly interested in it for mountain bike stuff. Because if you can take an mountain bike from 45, 50 pounds and bring it down to 35, you're now in normal territory of like an enduro or a heavy trail mountain bike, and that'll be really big.
Yeah, I know that. Who is it? Utopia.
Yeah.
They have the carbon fiber light,
Yep.
like the Carbon Pro One and like the
Yep.
Carbon ST, which I reviewed one of those. They're gonna send me the newest
Yeah. The
Pro.
Carbon One Pro.
Yeah, they're gonna send me
I'm
that one.
I'm looking at that one
Um,
right now. I've got it in my
oh,
garage.
is it in there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get the gray or the? Well, I said
Why
send me the white one.
it's the white, and it looks
Yeah.
good. Like it looks
And,
really good. And I reviewed their Joy, which is their really small bike, and it was
mhm,
cool. But this one's a normal size bike, and it's super smooth. Like it's a smooth
yeah.
bike, and um, I wouldn't say it's insanely light for carbon, but I would say it's much lighter than what it would have ever been in aluminum. And they couldn't have made that really cool looking frame. Like the frame is
Well,
cool because the seat tube doesn't go all the way down through the frame. It stops like it's like a
oh,
zigzag shape. So
yeah. I saw that. I know that when they asked me to do the pro, I'm like, look, I did the other one, the step through one. And I'm like, guys, you have the worst display. Like you have the lightest bikes, but like the worst display I've ever seen on an e-bike. Right. And it's like dot matrix. It's like playing Minecraft. It's like you have this really super high tech bike, and then you got a Minecraft screen. And I'm like, okay,
yeah.
this is like you could play Snake on it. The old it was like a
Yeah, I know
Nokia,
what you're
right? And
talking
I'm
about.
like,
Yeah.
guys, what are you doing? So when they said, "Would you like to do the carbon one?" I'm like, I don't. I'm like, I think the bikes are great, but I can't deal with the display. And they're like, hang on, we changed the display,
Yeah.
right?
It's
And then they
pretty
sent me a
nice.
thing, and yeah, and they sent me a thing and showed me what it looks like. I'm like, now we're in the game. All right,
Yeah.
now I will continue this conversation.
Oh,
Um,
one thing I wish would go away. We talked about one thing we would like. I don't want to see NFC tags anymore. I don't like NFC keys. Do you like NFC keys?
Well, Hey Bike uses them.
I know, but I just wish you didn't need them. Like, I don't think you need them for Hey Bike. You can get on them and you can turn them
Yeah,
on.
you
It's
can
an
do a password.
advantage. It's an advantage to go faster, to get to get into the system faster, right?
Hmm.
Um, is Happy Run. I reviewed a Happy Run, and the bike was fast and it was fun to ride around, but I had to have that key to start. You turn it on and it required it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I didn't like that. I didn't like that. I would like to see you have to use a like a physical key, like a turn key. That would be
Yeah.
cool. Like,
Goat Power Bikes has that. You have to have
mhm,
a key and turn it on. Well, and so does some of the other like electric. You had to have it in the battery and turn it on,
yep,
but that was down at the bottom where it was catching all the debris. But now they've changed that.
hmm,
Um, there's the walkies,
yeah. I haven't
the
reviewed one of
H9.
those.
I just got mine in, but we're trying to figure out why we can't get the. They sent me the 82 amp hour version, and so
Wow,
you had to put a battery blender in there. So it has a 22 amp hours in the frame, and then a big 61 on the back, right? And
wow,
that's the one that I took when Tim and I went out and looked at all those different movie scenes,
yeah,
and for some reason, it's just not reading that battery. And
hmm,
I think and so we're trying to figure it out because I you can't plug it in wrong, right? Like it's physically impossible to plug it in wrong. So we're trying. I think it could just be a bad one. And then, but Matt from Electric All Wheel, well, he left some stuff here, and he goes, "Dude, just put in one of my battery blenders and see if it fixes the issue, and then we'll know." So
hmm,
that'll be coming up. I plan on riding that one to the camera or to the cabin. But yeah, you got to put a key in the side and turn the
hmm.
battery on for that to work. Let's see. Oh, so John H said he was talking about the Frigo Shotgun Light is intended for short riders, max weight 220 pounds. So I would turn that bike down if they asked me to review it personally, because I'm already at 225. I'm already maxing it out,
Yeah.
and I'm 5'9", which is like an average. That's not tall by any means, but it's like average size. So um, let's see, get you, get you one, get you one. All right, I get it. Hey, do you guys know anything about Ice and Wheel U8 Pro moped style? I-
Hmm.
I've reviewed like an Ice and Wheel before, but no, I don't.
I've never
You
heard
don't
of that
review
brand.
many. You don't review many moped style e-bikes. I feel
I've
like.
got a few lined up, and I just did that Happy Run one. I reviewed the Rev One a while back. Um, yeah, I don't get a lot. I
Mhm.
get a lot of regular looking bikes, not so
Yeah,
much
but
mopeds.
then you're also reviewing like mountain bikes, like
Right.
analog mountain bikes. So I mean, you're on your other channel.
Yep. I like the
Have you?
moped stuff. I like the Forever Blue one that you and I
Oh my
both
gosh,
had.
that you me and you love that one.
Yeah, it was so cool. I wish it went faster. But that was my only thing is like I just wanted it to go a little faster and have a little bit bigger battery, but it was cool looking. I love the way e-mopeds look.
Yeah, yeah. John Scala. He said he just purchased an A-Pass C1 Express. What do you think? It's only 759 bucks. It rides well. Why are they so damn heavy? Well, I reviewed almost every A-Pass bike that is out there, and I think that they perform well for the money. Right? I think there was only one. I don't know if it was the C1 Express or the C2 Express that I didn't feel like it was the quality of the other ones that they had. Um, I just can't remember. But as you were talking before, 759 bucks would have got you a piece of crap 2 years ago,
Hmm.
you know? And now you can get, and I consider these like your starter bikes, like your
Yeah.
starter e-bike. It's not going to last forever, but it'll last long enough for you to realize there's other things to move into or to see if e-biking is for you or if it isn't. Like, is it
Yep.
going to improve your life or is it not?
Yep.
So I consider those starter, like when you first get your driver's license, right? You're not driving, a brand new Camaro or
Yeah.
Corvette because you're probably going to wreck it,
Right.
right? You're going to wreck your first
Yeah.
car. It'll get the job done. It's not the nicest thing out there, and it
Yeah.
didn't cost a whole lot of money. That's kind of how I look at it.
They reached out to me the other day. I haven't ever reviewed one of their bikes, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll review it," but I haven't heard back. I mean, it's the holiday season. They're probably
Yeah.
busy, and I wouldn't
Well,
mind
and then
reviewing one just because of the price. I mean,
yeah, so here's the thing. Here's the thing that like here's my issue with A Pass, right? Like I like the bikes. I think they perform well for the money. The problem is they keep lying about their specs, dude.
yeah,
And
yeah,
that just that like once I found out about it, and then I've been going back and forth with them on their 1800-watt motor. And I'm like, guys, it's not 1800 watts. They go, it
yeah,
actually is. And I'm like, but the controller only puts out 25 amps, which means the very most you can get out of this is 1365 watt hours or watts.
yeah,
And they go, yeah, but if you put in the other controller, what other controller?
yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
You advertise that
they're mixing words is what they're doing. They're like
yeah, I'm
saying
like,
this motor could peak out at that, but we're not going to supply you with the right controller to do it.
exactly, and
Yeah,
here's the thing, I mean, people, if you're buying a $759 bike, you're not expecting Samsung batteries, it doesn't need to be a Bafang sub-brand, like, like, what are we lying? Why are we lying? There people are gonna buy it anyways, just
yeah,
because just
yeah.
because of how it performs compared to other bikes that cost more money, so
Well, ultimately, like if they are honest with what they're saying and reviewers get a hold of it and see that, hey, they're stating it's this, but it feels actually a little bit more powerful than what they're stating, or it feels just right in line, and that's equivalent to something that costs double the price. Like they're not spinning it the right way, right? They're trying to like put out fancy numbers to make people like
mhm,
insta buy, but what does almost everybody do before they buy something like that? They jump on YouTube and find a review. And
yeah,
if you're out there and I don't really know all the stuff that you've been dealing with them, but let's just say I think it's a battery thing. Let's just say the battery isn't as big as what they say it is. Well, you're going to go out there and you're going to be like, look, they're saying it's this size of battery. They're claiming you can get 80 miles. I got 45. Somebody might be like, I'm never going to ride my bike 45 miles. I don't care if it said 80 miles
right,
or
yeah, right,
45. Scott rode it for 45 miles. So that's good enough for me. Like,
yeah.
if they're just honest about it, the reviewers can like highlight the things of like, hey, this may only have a 15 amp hour battery, but if you don't need to go 80 miles, then this will
Right, but
work
that's
great
the
for you.
thing. They're going the opposite direction.
That's what I
So
mean. Like, yeah,
so so
just be
now so
honest.
now yeah, so now all of a sudden I feel like when it comes to APAS specifically, that it's now that I know, like my integrity is not gonna let it drop. I just keep going back and forth with these guys. I'm like, if they would just fix it, right? Which I've got them
Yeah,
to I got them to where they didn't say they had 21,700 batteries anymore or cells that were in there. Right. They said they sent me a 21,700 battery. I haven't cracked it open yet to see if that's actually the cells. And
yeah,
they haven't told me like there's some things that Matt wants to know, smart stuff. So he's been helping me out with the technical stuff from Electrical Wheel because that's what he is.
yeah. And
He's a very smart guy.
I think it's good that you guys are going down that path because it does keep companies honest. Because if you don't have somebody that's doing that, it's not going to keep them honest. And really, realistically, is most people don't need the bikes that are being showcased. They don't need a bike to go 80 miles. They don't need a bike to go 31
Mhm.
miles an hour. They don't need all these stats that they think that consumers are striving after because they see like, oh, this $800 bike does this. Well, our $800 bike has to do this a little bit better. But
Right.
reality is like most people ride these bikes at 15 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And that's
But
just the
everybody wants to
reality
know
of it.
how fast will it go, right?
Yeah,
Like, "Oh, it's gotta go
yeah,
fast, it's gonna,"
yeah,
and dude, I mean, I've reviewed the fastest I've been, on a e-bike was, like, 58, I believe, on the Wired Predator.
yeah,
Dude, I'm I don't need to go that fast on a I don't
yeah,
like going that fast on the
yeah,
bike.
yeah.
If I'm in the 20s and 30s, I'm happy as a lark. When it starts getting like
Yeah.
that, then, there's speed demons out there, and I got it. That's why they make it, but, I mean, no, if you looked at my military past, you'd be like, "Dude, you were like a totally adrenaline junkie," but
Yeah.
everything I did, it was safe,
I
and
I
I'm not
think
too sure.
I think 34 is like my sweet spot. I like bikes that can go like 34ish. Like if
I'm
I'm gonna
I'm
get a bike
fine.
that's fast, I want it to be like that. If it gets up to 40, I'm like, that's fun for a little bit, but I won't ride it that way. But if somebody else
Yeah,
wants to, cool. But I'm more of like 34 is pretty good for me.
Yeah, which is totally fine because I mean, I have cars that'll do like 170 miles an hour, right? And I'm just tooting around at like 80, right? So, well, I mean, I have a '67 Land Rover that the moment you take it over 45 miles an hour, you're like, I'm in danger. You're like, this is
Danger.
unsafe.
This is not right.
It does not go on the highway. Um, Steve's Boys 12, he says, can he have a shout out? Well, there you go, sir. You've just been shouted outed.
Shout it out,
You've been
Steve
shouted outed.
boys.
Um,
12.
Let me see. There are some of you guys in the chat are just insane here. Let me see. Um, Gary from E-Bikes. How about oh, ooh, okay. Gary from E-Bike Adventures. How about backlit switches? That would be nice for night rides.
Oh, that
Yeah,
might
like
be actually
keyboards.
pretty cool. Yeah.
I think that would be. That's a great idea,
Why don't they do that?
Gary. You know what? I bet when you consider the amount of because I seldom ever ride at night, and I'm sure a bunch of I mean, you have like central driver guy. He all he does is ride at night. But
Yeah, that's
I
true.
think I think the majority of the people don't. So it's
Yeah.
not probably been mentioned much. So it's not really like a high demand. But I never thought of that, Gary. That's a great idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
E-biker Ronnie, who's also a buddy of mine. He said, "Good evening, gentlemen. I really enjoy both your channels." Um,
Thanks.
right there. Thanks. I talk back and forth with Ronnie. He's starting to do YouTube videos, so I've been trying to help him along the way with that.
Nice.
Because he lost a bunch of weight by riding e-bikes because he has like diabetes, and
Hmm.
so he got healthy by riding e-bikes. I mean, dude,
That's
that's your
cool.
story. Like
That's
that's your
cool.
angle. That's your like share that with other people.
Yeah, that's
Um,
cool.
Easy E saw the ladder fall today as well, guys. You can only see that on IG or TikTok,
It's more.
or Facebook.
Yeah.
Um, let's see, John Scales. I wrote a Cannondale aluminum frame back in 1997, a full Ultraga Seiko team frame, which I have no. But it was so light. Oh, okay. So it was fortunately in the years of riding in 60 rider packs in Atlanta at 36 miles an hour. Ooh, could you imagine doing that? I mean, I've seen them like where those guys are, I mean, for me, it's the road bikers. Whenever I've seen them, they're all spandexed
Yeah.
up and
Yeah.
they're like riding in these packs and they're going crazy fast. And they give us e-bikers a hard time for speed, dude. I can't tell you how many times I've been passed by a road biker. Like I
Yeah.
was standing still. I'm like, good God, what is going on?
And they're quiet.
Um,
They don't have a motor.
oh yeah, well, yeah. Um, hmm, the- uh, oh, shoot the chit said it's the sea walk, that little dance you like, the
Oh, is that
little
what it is? I like it.
whatever he
I like
does.
it. I need to have a little
Um,
GIF that I can of him
yeah,
doing
turn
it.
him into a GIF. Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy E, can you turn the front motor off on the Golden R Pro?
Yes.
Yes. And then you want to know how fast can they go? Mid 30s, I think, wasn't it for me? Do you remember?
I don't think mine got that fast. Pretty sure mine was like upper 20s.
Uh
I have to
oh.
go back and watch the footage that I did.
I know.
I've
Like,
actually shot 4 other bikes since then, so like the ride footage for them. So
well, okay. So okay. Whenever I do a review, it's we're going through the whole bike at one time. That's
yeah,
so, but it sounds like you bounce and film certain things on certain bikes
yeah,
and go back and I
yeah.
could not,
Like I have to
I
really
could not do that.
strategize it with working and everything. So
Take that.
uh, I will literally go out like for a ride on lunch, and then the next lunch day I'll go out for another ride on another bike, and then
Yeah,
I will
don't do
just basically try to film certain things and then come back and do studio work. So I'm kind of like you where you have like a very like this is my review. Everything is almost the same almost every time. It's like people know what they're going to get when they come to my
that.
channel. Like I do these specific tests and I have this very specific route that I do these reviews on. And so I'll just like the other day I went out and like I had nothing to do on Saturday for once in my life. So I went out and did that 3 times with 3 different bikes and basically rode them, recorded all the riding footage. And so now I've got to do all the studio footage for those videos. So I can split it up. And that's mainly why I structured my videos the way that I did. So I could be in my studio at night, and then during the day I could do the ride footage.
Yeah, that makes sense, which I miss. Like, I would love to have a studio. I just,
Hmm.
where am I gonna put it? Right?
Right.
So that's why, so, like, when I'm doing specs, well, we're doing that, like, first thing in the morning,
Yeah.
right? Like, that's happening because I have shade in my yard,
Yep.
and, and then, I'll stop and have lunch or something like that, or make sure everything's ready, and then we take off on the road for the day. And although I do have specific, like, we're covering this, and this, but since we're on the whole trip for me for the day, it's like whatever happens, happens. So,
Yep.
like, if the
Yeah.
bike falls apart, guess what? I'm gonna be like, and we are stranded. Thank you very much. There was a question that we skipped over, and it was about. Let me look back here. It was a question which I wanted to know what your thoughts on this, by a road trip buddy, and he said, "What are your thoughts on rad power bikes? Are they staying or going?"
Oh man, that's an interesting conversation I've had with myself every time I see one. Because what's funny though is I see them like frequently where we're at. They're
Mhm.
popular in Benton, in the Bentonville area, and I don't know anybody that reviews them anymore. Like, I don't think they send out
Yeah.
review units anymore. I think they're just kind of are what they are. They think they maybe sell them in bike shops, and they're just kind of like running that game. So I think they're here to stay. I think they're just playing a different game, is what I think.
Um, well, I mean, I had one, and it was basically my daily rider, just because I like utility bikes, and they had all the accessories that
Hmm.
make it a really great bike. Like, you can set that up for anything, right?
Yep.
And so I would use it a uh, as my daily runner. I had a basket on the back with, like, one of the Rad Power bags
Oh yeah.
that would perfectly fit in there. Dude, I still have that bag. Like, if I can fit it in another basket, I'll do it.
Yeah.
But the thing was, it was incredibly loud,
Huh.
and, like, that bike didn't need a horn or a bell, because they would hear you coming. They would look around. They'd
Yeah.
turn around and look at you as you're coming down, and then it was underpowered,
Oh
right? Like, it was just stuck at that 750 watts. Like, there was no peak. It
yeah.
was it was what it was,
That's what it
and
was. Yeah.
although it was super comfortable, and I ended up, I mean, I moved on and sold that bike, but the I thought it was a great bike, but I was like, man, if they need to. It doesn't seem like they've been doing anything noteworthy, I
Yeah,
guess, lately.
I haven't seen anything new from them. They seem
Yeah.
to and I'm okay with, like, to me, I think that there has to be companies like that that are just like, this is what we offer, and they perfect whatever that is by doing little small tweaks, and then they offer the same thing for a long time, and they're just super reliable. Um,
Mhm.
but then there also needs to be companies that kind of push the limit. Like, I consider like Velatrex pushing the limit, because they're always coming out with some new little tech thing, and
Yeah.
every year there's some new tech that they didn't put on their bike before. So,
Right.
which
Well, and Benton's the same
could be
way.
really risky for them, right? I mean, like with
Mhm.
the Benton, they went to the 36-volt motors, and it's a huge risk that they took doing that. But I personally think it's a genius move when it comes to like manufacturing bikes. All their new bikes use the same batteries. All their
Yep.
new bikes are going to use the same, almost the same motor. And I think eventually they'll get them to all use the same rear hub motor, and then they'll or be using the mid drive. And if they can do that, it does a couple of things. If they can get past the whole like 36-volt thing, which I think is funny because most of the time people who complain about that are the ones who haven't ridden the 48-volt versus the 36. Their
Right.
36-volt motor is absolutely better than the 48, 100% in every way, in my opinion.
Mhm.
But I think that if they can get past all of that and they can keep going the direction that they're going, their customer service is going to be really simple. You got a problem with your battery? Cool, we'll ship you one. Or
Yeah.
you got a problem with your screen? Cool, we'll ship you one. It's all uses the same thing across the board, no matter what bike you're on, just the frame changes.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. Traxologist, ologist, they have a question. Is it possible to have a regen only thumb paddle for an e-bike on the left-hand side, like an Apollo e-scooter?
Mm,
Um, I haven't reviewed a scooter that has that, so I was hoping that you had
the
that.
E-Ride Pro, like not like an E-Moto, they have regen. But honestly, I think regen on bikes would be more for slowing you down, not so much regenning the battery. I don't think you're going to get enough regen, and I think that's why you don't see it. I don't think there's enough power, kind of like generation from that. I think it's just so you don't use your brake pads as much.
Yeah, that's what, because at first when people started talking about regen or the bikes that had regen, I'm like, dude, I live in Chicago. Like this isn't going to work at all,
Yeah.
right? And until I started to do a little bit more research and get a little bit smart about it, and I'm like, oh, it's for the brakes. I think if they're having it set up for that, then yeah, especially when with like the heavier bikes, like the Go Power bikes, or
Hmm.
the Cyber, or you know,
Yeah.
uh,
It was awesome on my E-Ride Pro. Because
yeah, I bet it was.
I had 2 different switches. I had there were 3, so an off, a 1, and a 2, and the 2 was the most powerful regen, but in 1, you could literally kinda, like, point yourself down a really steep hill, and you could feel it kind of, like, holding you a little bit, so you didn't feel like you were freewheeling down the hill the whole time. You felt like there was a little bit more control without having to use your brakes. But on a regular bike, like, say, like, a fat tire bike or a cruiser style bike, I just really don't
Yeah,
see the point because brake pads are so cheap. You can literally get on Amazon and buy a set of like 8 brake pads for 12 bucks. And that's going to be more brake pads than what most people need the entire time they own the bike.
yeah. Yeah, I mean that. Yeah, I agree. Um, let's see what we have here. Jeff Gadboys, he rides at night from work. Um, thank you thank you very much. Thank you. That's the wife paying me a visit. Um, let me see. Is it plausible? Oh, this is from Pezologist again. But I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name. But I did not go to college. Is it plausible to have a sine wave throttle for a torque sensing pedal e-bike while allowing it to go full speed? Where is Matt from Electric All Wheel
Yeah, I was
when we
gonna
need
say
him?
like I get a few of those words there, but
Yeah, that was a bunch of word salad, and I didn't even finish it.
it was
It
impressive.
says, yeah, no, you are way smarter than we are. So, well, I cannot answer that question. Maybe Matt can answer it in the comments there. Um, Mike Rochester, the control pad on the King Bull Discover ST is blacklit.
Oh,
Ooh. We're like, oh, so somebody's doing it.
yeah.
Somebody's doing it. Thank you, Mike Rochester. Easy E, it's dangerous enough in the daytime here in Indy. Ain't no way I'm riding at night. Um, you would think that too in Chicago, because I mean we're kind of similar, except actually there's people in Chicago. I remember I took my wife to downtown Chicago to do something. I think to go to a club when it was open, and she's like, "Is this place a ghost town?" Like she's like, "Did this place get hit with a zombie apocalypse?" Like you saw no people walking around Indianapolis downtown. It was just there was none. Um, oh, Gary E-bike and Adventures. He works full time. It's tough trying to have a YouTube channel, also have a second channel that I started just for trikes. Well, Gary reviews a ton of trikes, so I understand why he would do one. Daylight savings time in winter here means he only has Saturday and Sunday. See, I could see that
I
being
feel you. I
a
feel
huge
you.
challenge, and
Yeah,
so that's
daylight
where the
savings time
benefit.
hits.
Yeah, and you having a studio, right? You
Yeah.
take that, you do the writing parts, and then you can. It doesn't matter what the lighting is or what time it is. Go ahead and do the other.
Yeah.
Um, Jeff Gadboys, he loves his Abound SR.
Yeah. Jeff
I mean,
has
that's
commented
a
on my stuff every once in a while. The Bound
yeah, that's
SR
a
is a cool bike.
look, it's the ACU stuff, man. When that to me was like a game changer. And
Yeah.
then and not only did they come out with like the ACU unit, which is the event and control unit for those who don't know what, and that what that has is it locks the hub. It allows you to track your bike. You don't have to have an Apple device or whatever. It'll work on anything. You can geofence it to keep people from messing with it. But the hub lock thing, you no longer need a key for the battery. Some people don't like that. I'm
Love
good
it.
with it,
I love it.
right? I know,
Get rid
right?
of
Because
keys. If we're not going to use them to start the bike, get rid of them.
yeah, right. So they took that out, and for somebody who lives in a big city like me, well, the security features just made it huge.
And it also
Um,
allows you to update everything on the bike: the controller, the battery, the
yeah,
display, all that.
yeah. There's been quite a few updates that they have done
Hmm.
um, with that. To the floor, welcome. Hey Scott, are wired and other large bikes like the Alpha just too heavy and tall for you to enjoy to putt around on and do errands? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now here's the thing, because I had the step over versions, right? If I had the step through versions, possibly I would do it. I don't own the Magician Alpha, but I will be getting one from the fourth cargo ship or whatever that comes in. I mean, I reviewed it, but I borrowed it from Matt at Electric All Wheel. Um, but yeah, like I'm literally so I want to ride. I was going to ride the Wired Warrior or attempt to ride the Wired Warrior from the cabin back to my house here in Chicago. So I was going to reverse the
Hmm.
trip. But then like the weather went to crap. Like we had snow and then but it wasn't like enough to freeze things. So I just scrapped that whole thing. Um, but I'm seriously considering that after I do that, I might just remove the whole rear rack and battery on the back just because the riding that I do on that bike, I'm not always going out for a 51-mile trip,
Yeah.
you know. And I'm curious to see. It's not going to change the size of the bike, obviously, um, but it will change the weight. If it was up to me and I could order them again, I would have ordered a Scout and a Cruiser because when a
Mm.
bike's that big, a step through is to me is like the only true way of being able to do it. So that was a good question there to the floor. Um, Easy E used both his wires for running errands, and since he doesn't own a car, they do fine for him. Yeah, I mean, I have two cars, I never drive them. Um, Leslie, does anyone know how to take off the front tire of an Aventon Adventure 2, which is taking off any 26 by 4 inch fat tire? Which you do, Mike, because you have tools
Yeah.
like
I got tools.
like a bench right behind you, or your rack thing right behind you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it-
I got some.
Yeah. So yes, um, Mike does know how to do that, and he's more
Yep.
than happy to come to your house and do it for you for free. I'm just going off of what you told me, guy. That's
Is
all.
that
I'm
is that what
just
I said?
I you typed it secretly that
Oh.
nobody could see, and that
Yeah.
um yes. Let me see. Um, I butchered Rudy Locks 420. He said, but he's used to it, or she, or they them. Um, okay, taxologist is asking like the hardest questions. Like
What's
bro,
the question?
where were you when I was on live with Matt at Electric All Wheel? Um, Let me see. Oh, well, actually, he said yes. Regen is just for stopping for avoiding use of disc brakes, as we talked about. Okay. And I only figured he was asking another hard question because I saw a lot of words. Regen brake literally allowed him to ride his e-scooter in extremely slippery, icy conditions whilst driving very defensively. All
Oh,
right,
nice. Okay.
and then
Cool.
yeah, and then I am now pronouncing his name right as long as I retain my pure American accent. All right, let's see what else. Um, the Dane Drew just put Alpha Mini potentially, and the answer is yes. I pre-ordered it, um, but it looks like it's not going to come out till January. Um, I did today just got the well, it's not here, but the Altus. So from Magician, so we've got that on order. I think that should ship out on Monday. Um, so I mean, really, at this point, at some point, I will have reviewed all of the Magician, which apparently those aren't real or whatever. It's a big scam, but we're not going to go down that road.
Huh. Hadn't heard that.
Yeah, I know. Um, let's see. To the floor. Will they be doing updated to the alpha on the fourth? Oh, what will they be doing? Um, should he have waited to buy it? No, it was just the suggestions that they made, or that Matt and I made. Like it needs a double chain ring guard to keep it from falling off, and realistically, I mean, you can.
Is that the right answer though? I heard you guys say that. I think what needs to happen is they need a narrow wide chain ring and a clutch Rudy railer. That's
Mm,
that I think that's what they should do. The double chain guard is a patch for using a bad chain ring.
interesting.
Yeah. Narrow wide chain rings have been around for
Oh well,
15,
yeah,
20 years. So
yeah.
that's all they need.
But there was no. I think the only reason that they were waiting till the fourth shipment um, was because of that, and also I think they switched out where the how the shock is placed in there, because I know in my review of it, I talked about how it was difficult to get the air the
Mm,
to the. We ended up having to put weight on the seat so that the
yep.
suspension would move,
Yeah.
and so but when you're doing that, then you don't want to like take the weight off because you don't want it to. I'm not saying it would, but then you feel like it's going to do that.
Oh
So I'll
yeah.
be curious to see how that is. I mean, look, you're not on
They
those bikes.
fixed
You're not
that?
changing. Yeah, they said they did. We're gonna
That's
see.
good.
I mean, you only do it like once every. It's not like you're doing it every week. Putting
Right.
air in that thing. So
Yeah.
once you get it set, you're good for like 6 months or whatever until you just check on it.
Yeah.
Um, so it's not that huge of a deal. Um,
Yeah.
I
Do they use D&M shocks on those?
can't remember. Like you,
Yeah.
I've also like looked at 4 other bikes since that one,
I imagine they
and I don't
do. That
have one,
seems to
and
be
I
the
don't have one.
go-to. Yeah.
Yeah,
If
I
you
don't
if
have.
you could swap that out for like a Rock Shocks or a Fox, you probably wouldn't
Oh
have
no,
any
no, wait a
air
minute. It's
issues.
but it's one of the nicer ones,
A
right? So
D&M.
it did have like compression and rebound, and you can make those kind of adjustments.
Yeah.
Dude, it's really a super like plush ride. It really
Yeah.
is. Um,
You gotta remember, I come from the mountain biking
yeah,
realm. So
right. I
D&M
know.
is like it's great for the road, but I haven't seen one that's super good for off-road.
Hmm. My wife brought me some apple juice, so drinking that off camera.
Nice.
I don't want people making fun of me.
The little juice box.
A little juice box, little Capri Sun with a kick to it. Let's see. But to the floor, I think, here's the difference between you having one now and me having to wait is you're enjoying yours right now.
Yep. There's a saying,
Yeah.
a car today or a car tomorrow can't take you where you want to go today. So,
First time I've heard that.
yeah.
That'll be he did it. Yep, that's his. He gets credit for that. Um, Easy E. I was riding with Cloud Nines, right? Do you use Cloud Nine seats?
Me? No. My
Yeah, I
father-in-law
know.
does though.
Yeah, because you're
You should see this. If I could show you the seat that I've got over there, I've got a 3D printed seat on one of my mountain bikes, and it's
does that have a bunch of holes in it?
yeah. The best
Yeah,
way that
it
I
looks like
describe
spider
it,
web.
yeah, it looks like spider web, but it's like it's cushioned because it's 3D printed, so they're able to add layers on like the old plastic ones. But the
Hmm.
downfall of it is it's like sitting on that stuff that you put in your shelves for your kitchen, so your pants grip to it really well. You know that stuff
Oh
that's like that.
yeah, yeah.
I was like, this looks awesome, but man, it like you want to shift your weight and your pants just stick to it.
Yeah, but what happens if you're wearing shorts and like your leg starts rubbing up against that? It's gonna
Yeah,
be it's
wouldn't be good.
no. Let's see. Let me see. What do we got going on here? Got a bunch of you guys on. Holy cow. Um, Joey's e-bike adventures. I see he's loving his Alpha. Best bike yet. First power performance e-bike. Mine was the Wired. That was my first, and then um, which so when I get the Alpha now the good thing about it is that'll come in, and then I'll actually get to review it like my way, right? Because everything we all go through the same sand, the same hill climb, and when I was down there visiting Matt and doing that, we were doing the best we could with trying to replicate the same testing that I do in the same situation. And just down in Florida, it's not the same. The sand is totally different and all that kind of stuff. And I'll also be able to ride it until the battery, and I want to see how far it goes. So I don't know. So I am looking forward to it. I think I'm going to call it like when they send it to me, I'm going to call it like the real review because I get to use my normal racetrack on everything.
I'm just
Um,
looking at the comments and I'm like blown away by how many people are talking about Wired and Magician. Like it's pretty crazy.
right,
Like
but
I think
Magician
they're
came out
neat.
of
I think
nowhere.
they're neat bikes, but I don't know. Maybe it's just the
Yeah,
high powered part of it for me. I'm
well,
just not
they're
that
high
invested.
powered and they're also big. They're
Yeah.
I mean, if I put my Abington Adventure next to my Warrior,
Hmm.
it like towers over it just in
Yeah.
size,
Yeah.
So
It's
um
that much bigger, huh?
it is. It's like 81
Wow.
inches, right? So that's
Jeez.
a lot,
That
you
wouldn't even
know.
fit on most bike racks, like rear racks of a vehicle.
Well, they fit on my Cravat, so
Yeah.
they fit on the
Yeah.
Cravat racks,
Like
which I'm a huge fan of.
do they fit based off of like it can fit, or are they like within the wheelbase? That's
They're
like
within the wheelbase.
they are.
Yeah,
Wow.
like I don't have the cradle that moves on those. They're
Hmm.
not all the way pushed out, and then I'm like trying to get the rope to no, they're buttoned right up next to it, you
Nice.
know. So the tires don't even, because what you're thinking is like on that tray, like that tire would be almost coming off
Right.
the, but it's not.
Wow.
It's there. It's there.
Yeah, the Cravat racks,
Um,
I've reviewed a few of those, and for the money, pretty good racks.
yeah, heck yeah. That's what I mean. That's all I use. Mm. My voice is going. I've been up since 2:30 a.m. I just flew in from San Francisco today,
Oh my gosh.
where where I flew to San Francisco on Wednesday, went to an event called Strut, where they have this AI high tech wheelchair thing, and I got a chance to go there, try it out. Kyle from Area 15, he was there. Micah from e-bike school, he was there. So we were like the only three YouTubers that were there. I was able to talk Micah into drag racing him. I'm not sure that's not what they're really for, right? But and then I also wanted to joust with selfie sticks, but that didn't actually happen. So and then I just flew back. So it was a turn and burn to come back because I wanted to make sure I get a chance to hang out with you, buddy.
Oh, oh, so nice.
So my voice is a little rough. That's why I'm doing apple juice here to try to make it better. Talking about seats. Oh, but this is from Watt Hustle. Talking about seats. Just a review on the Magician Alpha, and it's like the stock seat. The stock seat. Wait a minute, and he likes the stock seat. So Scott, what was it about that you didn't like about it? Or so saddles are so like user. It's a what's the word I'm looking for, Mike?
It's just a personal preference.
There you go. It's such a preference, right? So I think for my childbearing hips, something about that thing just feels like it is hard as a rock. Like you might as well just like I feel like I'm sitting on a cinder block with that thing. And so within the first 10 miles of being on that, I'm like, get me off the seat for the love of God. And um, for the following day ride, Matt was nice enough to put a Cloud9 seat on it. Um,
I know my father-in-law, he likes his Cloud 9. He put one on his Adventure 3.
yeah. I have one for my wife's bike, which varies, right? She doesn't
Okay.
ride them enough. So then I'll like do her up a bike and then she doesn't ride it along. And then I'm like, all right, we're just going to sell this one and put it on something else. Um, so this is Oliver. Dane, first of all, Dane Drew asked, how many decibels is the wired rear hub motor? Don't know. I don't have that testing tool for that. But Matt from Electric All Wheel might know. You see I'm just pushing every technical thing
Hmm.
to Matt from Electric All Wheel. So feel free to email him or ask him your super long technical questions. Look, he loves those. He really does. He loves that kind of stuff. But Oliver said, so I'm looking for my first e-bike that is below 800 that goes around 28 to 30 miles an hour. Like, what bikes would you recommend?
Below
Yeah.
800. Isn't there the electric? Doesn't electric offer one that low priced?
Well, I think if you're thinking about like the XP Lite, but that thing only
Hmm.
does 20.
Oh, it does.
Yeah. It would have to be either like a pass that go that fast. And then I think KBO, well, that might be 899. Well, with all, really with all of these Black Friday things that they're starting to have, you could probably find more bikes in that price range that you originally wouldn't be able to fit to get. I think I said KBO. There's some that I'm thinking in my head, but I can't think of the names of them.
Yeah, I can't think of any bikes under $800 that would kind of meet that
Yeah.
criteria. It's hard.
At
It's
the,
a hard category.
yeah.
Like 30 miles an hour is kind of like you're asking for something that a brand technically isn't supposed to do. Like if they're going to be a
Hmm.
class 3, so it's not going to be probably advertised at that. And if they are advertised at that, usually they're bikes that are just trying to be pushed out that way. Because most of the good brands that can go that fast, they're going to just say they're class 3 and that's it.
Yeah. And the ones that are in that price range are probably you're gonna find them on Amazon.
Yeah.
Um, Easy. He's like, yeah, I think I'm gonna pass on those 3D printed seats after you. You didn't really quite sell it.
Yeah. No, this is the last one I'll buy until the technology gets better.
Um, let's see what we got here. Yeah. Texologist said that the wired is like the dual. Happened here.
Hey, look at that. You got yourself a super chat.
What that? Holy cow! What?
Yeah.
Yowza!
Like a boss.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a. I didn't know that could be that great. Wow! Thank
That
you
could
very
be.
much. Holy cow! Um, Not why we're here, but it's appreciated. Uh, you know how much apple juice I can buy with that? It's a lot of apple juice.
A lot of apple juice. Lots of
All right, but it
boxes.
threw me off. It threw me off here. Now I got to find out where did they say though? I missed what they. Let me see. Oh, find it. Um, Misadventure. We got into e-bikes because of your videos. Thanks, and hopefully we can meet up someday. Yeah, well, yeah. If I definitely got you into it, I hope we can too. Just let me know when you're in Chicago. Oddly enough, like I will meet up with some of the people um, that follow me, right? Mark Bennett, I ran into him on like two different e-bike reviews, and I'm like, okay, we're friends now, right? Like, what's going on, right? Why? And this guy does. He lives in Tennessee. He's not even from Chicago, so he just comes up here randomly to get
Yeah.
away. And so now we're buddies. I met up with him the other day, and it was real cold, and yeah, and so it's just so yeah. Whenever you let me know if you're coming up with somebody go for a ride, I'll 100% do it because I love this kind of stuff. But I don't know where I was at. What threw me off? Um, Joey's e-bikes. I'm loving his Alpha. It's the best. Oh, wait a minute. Yep, first powerful. Okay, so I got to go up. I got to go up. Oh, what hustle is late? Okay, so okay, talked about the seats, decimals. All right, we'll pass on the 3D print seats. Chexologist, yes, the throttles on the wires are not as smooth. It's not as smooth as the Alpha. I can tell you that. Um, Jeff Gadboys, no need to go that fast, but when I want the Magician Mini, but I do need it. I think I just butchered that whole thing. Hang on. No need to go that fast, but I want the Magician Mini, but I need it with the law cracking down. Which, if you notice that, that's areas are starting to crack down on these bikes, especially these more high powered ones. That's why Alpha and I'm sorry, Magician and Wired are trying to keep them looking like normal bikes. They're going to be, if dude, whenever I ride
Oh,
my,
my garage
what was
door just
that?
opened. That scared the heck out of me. Bear with me. My daughter's just looking at me.
Yeah, and you're looking at her, and you guys are looking at each other. So that while you're
Yeah.
trying to figure that out, um,
It's nice and cool out.
yeah,
So
Misadventure Lab, yeah, Rabbit racks are amazing and fit a wide range of bikes and sizes. I agree. That's why that's basically all I ever use. Um, Let me see. Had to leave. Who is this? Electric Rides had to leave for a little bit to let the dogs out. Any thoughts on the Aventon Pace 4?
I like that bike. I thought it was pretty nice. It's just a simple bike, but it rode smooth. I like the BMX style bars that they put on it.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Step through was super low on it, so you could easily get on and off of that bike, like no problems. It was
Also felt like
definitely
pretty quiet and like very nimble.
very
I
quiet. Like
mean,
you saw it on a greenway, you wouldn't think it was an e-bike.
true, true. So yeah, that's our those are our thoughts on the Aventon Pace 4. I mean, it's a solid bike.
Yeah.
Um, what? Okay, here, Oliver. What are your thoughts on the Movcan V30, but not the Pro? I haven't reviewed that. I only reviewed
I haven't
the
heard.
dual motor, dual battery one. So
And
unfortunately, so here's the thing: if I haven't, when it comes to bikes, I'm sure Mike, you're probably the same way, and you can let us know if like I never comment on a bike that I haven't reviewed personally, just because you can look at the specs all day long, but really, if you until you write it, or review it, it doesn't, it could be different. So
yeah.
I can't suggest or comment on bikes
Well,
that I've not reviewed.
I will. I'm going to go down your comments here in just a second. So, Road Trip Buddy said, Scott or Mike, have you test drove the Porsche or the Audi e-bikes yet? Here's my whole thought on these bikes. I have never ridden them, so I am going to comment on them. Uh, Car manufacturers should stop trying to make
Okay, I'll agree
bikes.
with
They
that.
they should they should just stop. If you look at the Ford Bronco, it was an absolute atrocity for the Bronco. Like it didn't represent anything. It's like they just took this thing and tried to like make it into something that it wasn't. It could have been really cool. Like for instance, the McLaren e-bike could be potentially really cool, but they did some weird stuff to it. And I don't know. The only one actually could probably do okay is the Porsche. Um, I've seen a couple of those like in person, and there is some legitimacy to them, but I just think that car manufacturers should make cars, not e-bikes.
Okay, fair enough. But I mean, because that's just a generalization. You're not talking about specifically any bike. I did think that the Mustang, the Ford, yeah, did they call it the Mustang or did they call it the Bronco? I don't. I can't
The
remember what they called it.
Bronco, yeah.
I thought it looked good from a distance, and then I saw like a couple people review it, and I'm like, wait, there's nothing special about that at all. Just
Well,
the fact that,
they
you
tried to
know,
make it a mountain bike, but they put a rear hub motor in it. Like
yeah,
you can do that to an extent. Like Velatrex did that with their Summit.
yeah.
But I felt like the way that the Bronco was designed is that it almost tried to mask that that's what the type of motor it had. And The Summit did a decent job of making it into a mountain bike, but realistically, it's just a road bike that's made for that looks like a mountain bike. It can mountain bike. Don't get me wrong. I mountain biked
Mhm.
with it and I had fun, but the back end of a uh, rear hub motor is just really too. Your bike is too off center, off balance, I should say. Whenever you have a rear hub motor and you're trying to do trails, like I think a mid drive is the only way to go if you're going to be making a mountain bike or try to
Yeah,
pull it off as a mountain bike.
right, for like a real EMTB. But
Yes.
now, what do you think on the new Rivian bike? What do you think about that thing?
I think it's kind of cool. I like the concept of it. I like how it's modular. It's different looking. They're kind of pushing the industry a little bit with that, but it's like I get that they're trying to do something different by making it like a bring electric mobility to the place where I look at like Ford and I look at Porsche and I look at McLaren. They're just doing it just to get people to come in and buy a Porsche or McLaren and get a bike. Like they're just trying to
Yeah,
advertise where Rivian, I think they probably tried to legitimately make something that could be used for commuting or taking your kids to school or whatever you're going to do. And the way that they made it was different than any other e-bike we see out there. Where the Ford looked like they just slapped on generic parts and put a little bit of color to it.
yeah, yeah. I can't argue with any of that. I mean, when I first saw the Rivian bike, I'm like, can't I have not still yet decided whether I think it's ugly or not. Right?
Yeah.
It's just so unique, and then you can switch it out to do so many different things. I'm
Yeah.
just like I think I can get behind this, right?
Yeah.
But
It's like a
um
little square with like straight lines coming off of it. I don't know. It's,
you can, yeah, I know.
it's so
And it's,
weird, but it's kind of quirky in a way that I
I
can
would I
I
would
can get
I would
in
love to
with.
review one. I'd
Yeah.
love to get my hands on it and just really figure out what that thing is about.
It
Now,
reminded me a
Chexologist.
lot of like Segway, how Segway was different in the industry, how their stuff looks really unique, but it's quality. I
Mhm.
haven't ever ridden any Segway stuff, but I just seen a lot of reviews on it, and your stuff looks good that you put out on it. But I'm like, that's what the Rivian one kind of reminds me of. Like they tried to put quality behind it. The other brands, I don't think, have done that with their car e-bikes.
Yeah, what they like picked form over function, and
Yeah.
tried to make something look cool, so that like just a bragging right type thing.
Yep.
Um, Chexologist did make a good point. He said, Ed Oliver, which is the guy who asked for a bike under 800 or under, he's like, please don't risk buying an uncertified e-bike that could burn your house down. Get an electric XP3 or 4 that goes 28 miles an hour with certified batteries.
Yeah.
Right? I
That's a
mean,
good point.
it is a good point that we missed out on. So thanks, uh, Chexologist, for that.
And honestly, I think that if you're going to go $1,000 or less, just look at electric. It's there. They make good quality stuff, and from what I've heard, their customer service is good. I've never had to use it, but I don't know. I don't know if
Oh,
it still
who,
is or if it.
electrics?
Yeah.
Oh, it's excellent, dude. I
Yeah.
mean, I've had I think I had an issue with the XP4. The thing is, I just contacted customer support within 20 minutes, told them what my deal was, and
Mhm.
the boom, a new controller was coming out.
Yeah.
So,
That's
and that was
good.
like a 20-minute, 20 minutes on the phone. Like I
Yeah.
didn't have to do like videos with them to, figure it out. They just saw that, yeah, you had this order, this was your bike, and
Yeah.
let's get it fixed. So they're electric is probably the best. I would say Event and Velotrek are up there as well.
Mhm.
Um, haven't had any issues with any of my Segway stuff to have to use their customer support. So, Mike Rochester. So someone just paid to meet up with you. Where I come from, that means something else.
Oh boy. We had to go
He's
there.
yeah, um oh, to the floor. He said he bought his e-bike because of me as well. Awesome.
Nice.
And he can tell I'm a hard worker. Thanks.
Oh.
Um, Wad Hustle, he's selling his Wired Scout for 2K. He likes his Alpha more. See, that's also what I want to find out. And the only way I'm going to be able to find out if I like one or like which one am I going to grab first? Um, I need to have both. But because I I ordered a that through Alpha, I might end up grabbing it more just because it's easier to get on and off. Um, Dane Drew, they ought to take the aerial rider route, and they have the ability to turn on stealth mode, class 3 and under. So I have the aerial rider X class performance edition. Not sure what you mean by stealth mode. What about that one? I mean, I know you haven't reviewed any aerial riders yet, and I got a chance. Being in the kind of business that we are, is so cool to be able to see things that are coming. Right. So
Yeah.
I talked to the owner of aerial rider, and I'm like, what are you hinting at? And he told me, and I can't tell you, but it's
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be cool. So
Honestly, I don't get a lot of like early look at this type of
well,
e-bike stuff. I get a lot more in the mountain biking realm.
yeah, well, as you
That's where I
should,
see
because
it.
you were more established there before you were in the e-bike
Yeah.
world. Plus, you're dude. This is all I do. I'm full. I do this full time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I talk to the manufacturers and stuff like that when things interest me. Easy E, thanks, buddy. He's got to go. He's got to go get him some apple juice. Right. I
Mhm.
bet apple juice sales probably go up during my my lives that I have.
I'll probably go get
Um,
some.
yeah, you know what, dude, we've been on here for 116 minutes. It, time just guys flies by. Normally, I don't like to do these. Well, normally it's like 90 minutes to 120, and it looks like we're
Yeah.
4 minutes. But let me cruise through the comments here real quick, right? Um, and see what what might be pressing that we could just answer.
CYC motor. There's somebody talking about those. I am interested in that. The Bunnell stuff, kind of interested in it. But I have this like I don't know, there's mixed feelings about it because they're pushed as like mountain bikes and they're way over a class one mountain bike. Um, but it is interesting. I have a few thoughts of like where I could go ride something like that because I couldn't take those on my local trails. They would instantly get me frowned upon.
Yeah, well, yeah, from the I don't know anything about CYC motors because that, like you said, that's more of a mountain bike thing than
That
my.
I think that's what Alex is putting on a bike for maximum
Yeah, I
charge.
heard. Yeah, yeah, he's making some monster of a beast. Um. Okay, so assimilated. Is it assimilate? Yeah, assimilated 77. Is the wired cruiser really that big? Like, is it much bigger than something like the Nomad 2X? It
Yeah, you
is.
said it was like the size of a bus or something. I think that's what you
No,
said.
I didn't say it was the size of a bus.
Oh, you're gonna take it back now. Okay, yeah.
No, it was a small plane. There's a
Oh,
difference.
so I
Don't
misheard.
get them.
My
Don't get
bad.
them confused.
My
All
bad.
right. No, it is physically just bigger than than all the other ones. Let's see. Oh, this was asked. What was who was it? I gotta find it. I gotta find it real quick. Something about. Oh, here we go. JDNV. Big fan of both of our channels. Yay, thank you. What has been your favorite e-bike this year?
My favorite e-bike this year is the Adventure M, hands down. That bike
Mm.
is cool. There's a few things that I hope that they do on the next iteration. Like one, get rid of the electric shifting. I would rather just have, if they're going to have a wire physically going back to it, I would rather them put in a cable driven, just a standard like Shimano Qs, or give that option, Shimano Qs. The other thing is or just go pure wireless, like go SRAM access. Offer a premium package where you could spend 200-300 bucks more, get SRAM access, or maybe even go with some brand like Wheeltop, put that in their stock, or maybe L2, and have pure wireless that way, or just offer a Shimano Qs option. It's just going to be a little bit more precise, a little bit more easier
Yeah,
to
but that
maintain.
But if they do that, that eliminates the auto shifting.
Yeah, but that's honestly, it's great. It does work well when it works well, but if your derailleur is slightly out of tune, it starts to fall apart.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, so I haven't been able to ride it enough in like different situations to know that. But you
yeah.
switched out your derailleur to a clutch driven one.
Yes, which is a super simple thing, and that's something that they do need to do is they need to like that Shimano Q's that they put on there was not clutch, but they can put a clutch one on there and it would not probably the amount that they purchase probably wouldn't cost them more than like 2 or 3 bucks per bike.
Hmm. I think my favorite bike this year has to be the Segway Cyber.
Yeah. That one's
Yeah,
cool. I
for
love that. I love
for
the
me.
wrap that you put on that, how you did all that, made it and then you put the different suspension on there too, didn't you?
Yeah, that thing's too that so the suspension's too tough, right? It's
Yeah.
like that bike barely moves, but it was I saw these other people doing it, they're heavier riders, so I'm like, "All right, let me do it, and I'll show people how to do it." But I'm trying to look for a spring in between. Now look, the stock one that's on there, I don't bottom out on it. So
Yeah.
I could literally just put the stock one back on there and be just happy as a lark as I was before. So sometimes we
Yeah.
just do things to show people, so we'll spend the money, because then nobody sent me the shock. I bought the shock and put it on,
Yeah.
and I scratched it up in the process. So I'm not going to take it back off and send it back. So it
Yeah.
is what it is. It's just part of the business. Um,
Be interesting
all
if you
right.
put on like a higher end brand, like an Olin's shock on there. That would be really interesting to see what you thought of the ride. And I don't know, I can't remember what the fork looks like on that. If you could upgrade the fork on that bike, but
Um, yeah, I mean, I feel like the suspension was pretty excellent on it,
pretty good.
the way that it is. Like to switch out the seat on it, and I saw a company that like does a whole seat back
Hmm.
Rooney thingy that I'm thinking about adding to it. But it's like, it's just one of those things like how many times do you want to keep making changes
I
to
know, I
to this
know,
bike?
man.
Because and I say that, and then I look at one of my rambles and go, well, idiot, right? Well, look, guys, we're gonna wrap this up. We've been on here for 2 hours, and you guys have been with us on a Friday night. I mean, what is going on? Right? It's like don't you guys have lives? What are you doing? You
Oh,
know?
this is it, man.
I
E-bikes are
guess
life,
so.
right?
Yeah, I guess so. Um, but if we didn't make it, if I didn't catch your comment or we just didn't have time for it, I do want to thank you for hopping on the live. This is something that I started to do. I'm really enjoying it because not only does this give me a chance to learn about some of the guys that are in the same field that I am, um, I just, you guys are my friends, so I get to learn more. It's like hanging out with my friends with an audience. So
Hmm.
that's awesome. So, Mike, I want to thank you for sharing your experience and your 217 different YouTube channels with us.
You're
And if,
welcome.
if
We didn't get to
you
all of them, right? I don't know.
yeah, we stopped somewhere at like 64 or something. I couldn't keep up. I couldn't keep up. And don't forget to subscribe to Mike's OnlyFans. I know that that was one of them that he hadn't brought up yet.
What?
It's very interesting. I've been on there for a while watching his stuff. So that's that's a total joke. He doesn't have one. He's like,
You're
and now I regret coming on. He's like, I save all that to the.
yeah, I'm closing down all my channels now.
All right. Well, thank you guys very much. I'm gonna end this live somehow. Oh, that's right. And well, see you on the next one, Mike. Oh,
Go ride your
whatever.
e-bike.
Their catchphrase, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Now
Yeah.
get out there, ride your e-bike.
There you go. That's a great way to close it off. Thank you guys.
See ya.